YouTube channel. My name is Roxanne, the Tiny Taster, and today's recipe is a wonderful honey chili potatoes. Now this is a great recipe that you'll see in most Asian or Chinese restaurants, especially if you're in India. It's super simple and so yum. Now there are two ways that I have shown you how to make this. One is of course the traditional way, which has sort of like a flour coating. I just didn't think you actually needed it. So if you watch the recipe, you'll see what I mean. But there are two ways that you can make this. Really simple and so yum. It's the perfect starter or accompaniment to any dish. If you like this recipe, as always, make sure to give it a big fat like and subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment down below. All your ideas, your words, your encouragement. It really motivates me and of course it helps the channel. So if you do enjoy it, please do leave me a comment and share it with all your friends as well. And without any further ado, let's get cooking.
For this recipe, you're going to need a whole bunch of ingredients, starting with some spring onions. I've just cut the white and the green separate, some chopped garlic and some chilies. You're going to need some sesame seeds and of course the main ingredient, which is honey. I've used this lovely organic honey from Vanya. They're wonderful. It's a local produce. It's honey from up in the hills and just really wonderful. I quite like it. You will need some potatoes that I've peeled and cut into like little fries. I've soaked them in water. And then of course you'll need some flour or maida, salt, pepper, cornstarch, and then some sauces. So tomato sauce, a little bit of soya sauce and red chili sauce. Now this isn't a brand plug or anything, it's just a produce that I really like. They're organic, they're fresh. Honey is just one of the things they have. I'll leave details in the description box. To a pot of water, you want to add the potatoes as well as your salt and then just let it all come to a boil. You want to boil the potatoes and cook them for about 8 to 10 minutes. Once they're cooked, you want to drain them and let all the water drip down. Once it's cooled just slightly, even while the potatoes are a little bit warm, add in your cornstarch. You just want to lightly dust this. Be gentle if you're using your fingers like I did. The potatoes are still a bit hot, so don't want to burn yourself. Just carefully mix it all so that the potatoes get coated in this cornstarch. Now traditionally, to another bowl you would add in your flour or maida and the rest of your corn flour and a little bit of water and start to make a thick slurry. This is not really the method that I prefer to do, but I'm still just going to show you so you can see what it ended up with. My mixture for some reason just wouldn't be thick. It was just too liquidy, so I think eventually it didn't coat very well. But if you are going to do this and have a thick coating, you want to make sure that your slurry is thick and not runny. Don't add too much water. Gently mix the potatoes into this slurry and then drop them into a pot of boiling oil or hot oil and make sure that they fry. I'm not a big fan of this method, but you can see that it adds a crispy coating to the top. Now I find that the next batch that I did, I just added the potatoes that were lightly dusted in corn flour. I didn't add them to the slurry or the mixture, and they cooked just as well and they ended up being crispy. And I actually quite like this. I think it's less tedious and easier to make, and they turned out great. So this is what I would suggest, but if you'd like to make the slurry, you absolutely can. So you can see on both sides of the plate, on the left is the stuff with the slurry, and it just sort of ended up being a little bit clumpy. Though it tasted quite nice and it was a little crispy, it just stuck together and it wasn't the greatest. But the potatoes on the right side, which is just dusted with corn flour and then fried straight, were absolutely perfect. So I would recommend that you miss that step and just directly fry them, coated in a little bit of corn flour. In another pan, you want to add a little bit of oil along with your spring onions, your chilies, and then a little bit of your crushed garlic or chopped garlic as well, and cook it all together. Toss in your sesame seeds along with the pepper and give it a mix for about a minute or so. Add in your sauces, the soya sauce, the red chili sauce, as well as your ketchup. You could add more if you like it a little bit more spicy, or you could add less. Really depends on what you like. I just use these leftover sachets that come with takeaway Chinese. I just think they're great. I don't like throwing it away, and it's perfect for a dish like this. the last and most crucial or hero ingredient is the honey. You can add as little or as much as you like. I think 2 to 3 teaspoons is just perfect, but of course you could add more or less. Mix it all together and let it cook for another minute. Add your fried potatoes and then just toss it all in with this sauce. I feel at this stage the sauce is enough and it will coat all the potatoes, but if you wanted a little bit thicker or a little bit runnier, you could add a little bit more of that corn flour and mix it in water, so it would be a corn flour slurry. I don't think you really need it, but if you think you do, if you want it a little bit thicker, absolutely go ahead and add a slurry. So there you have it. My honey chili potatoes are absolutely ready. You could add a few more of those chopped spring onion greens just for a little bit of garnish and a pop of color. But really, this is cooked. It is so good. Please serve this hot. It needs to be eaten as soon as it's cooked, and I don't think you can resist it actually. It's just like you'd get in a restaurant, or it just makes like the perfect appetizer or an accompaniment to some nice fried rice or maybe even a chili chicken. I've got recipes for those on the channel. Make sure to check that out as well. And if you liked this and enjoyed this recipe, by all means please do give it a big fat like, a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. There's so many recipes as well as travel videos. I think you'll enjoy them all. So till next time, I'll see you guys soon.